Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Well, today we're going to do a follow-up on a video I did a few months ago when I talked about Graham Stephan, Dynasty Under Construction. And in that video, I said, if I'm right, certain things are going to happen. So we're doing a follow-up. Now, one of the things that I said was that he was going to go buy, one of the big things I said, was that he was going to go buy a large piece of property and build some housing on there for future staff to live in. Well, that didn't quite happen, but his partner, or his associate, Jack, bought a house and rented out some rooms to a couple of people. Now, let me tell you why I find that suspicious. Jack is 22 years old. He's only been employed for a year and a half at this job, and he got a $550 million piece of property in Las Vegas and closed on it and rented out 2 rooms to flatmates. I don't believe that. And one of the guys' name is Apple, associated with, I believe, a computer. I think what happened is Graham is behind the financing somehow, and the 2 flatmates are going to be behind the scenes computer people, whether they're editors, and I got some proof coming up that's going to do that. Another thing that I had talked about was there would be new shows in the works coming up. Now, it just so happens that this week, the Iced Coffee Hour, they did a midweek show. They're normally just on Sunday. They did a 45-minute show in the middle of the week. There's an Iced Coffee Hour Clips channel. There's a Millennial Money Clips channel. In addition to the 2 channels that he does, the Iced Coffee Hour, the Millennial Money, the Stephan. So he's doing exactly what I said he would do. More programs, but less time of him. Now, he did do the Millennial Money midway through, but I think there's a change coming there too. And he said he wants to go back to real estate, and I think he did. And I think that's how he got Jack's house. Now, the reason that they did the midweek Iced Coffee Hour is Graham and Jack had an associate named Alex. And the title was Why They Had to Fire Alex. Well, they didn't really fire him, of course. But he stopped being both of theirs because it was way too much work, according to them. And now he edits Graham Stephan's main channel. Now, I want you to think about that. Graham Stephan has always taken immense pride in doing it all, from content to scripting to recording to editing to everything on his main channel, because it's all about him and he wants to control everything. And now all of a sudden he wants to back off of some of that duty and give it to an editor. And the reason they used was he was way overworked, being both of their assistants. So now that means there's going to be at least 1 spot open and maybe 2. So now the door is open to hire 1 or 2 more people. And guess just who happens to live in Jack's house? I don't think that's a coincidence. And I think we're going to find out that Apple is going to end up working with Graham Stephan and or Jack as an assistant. I also said that he would, as I said, would buy property for his associates to live in and Jack now has a $500,000 house. His girlfriend quit her job recently and is now full-time in YouTube. So I think they're right on target. I mean, buying the house for Jack is an intermediary step, and I think he probably paid part of it or all of it so that he could, or maybe he did buy it and he's just paying the rent for 2 or 3 of the rooms so that his staff can be there and nobody's the wiser. Now, just as an update, I believe he's right on target. We're getting ready to go into January, and just since we did this thing, he's added 3 different shows. He's opened up at least 1, possibly 2 more positions to add to his team. So it appears to me that everything is right on target. Now, the next few steps I see is in spite of them doing an additional show during the week for the iced coffee hour, I still believe he's going to cut back on the Sunday show. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're going to Graham will cut back on the Sunday show, and they'll work mostly on the midweek show, because the midweek show will be 45 minutes and the Sunday show is anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. I believe he will hire another assistant or 2, and that assistant will live on the premises with him to take Jack's place, and then the other assistants will live in Jack's house and he will pay rent to Jack. I believe that's how that's going to work, because he hasn't found the property that he's looking for yet that we know of. But I do believe he will cut back on his schedule. He's already cut back on the editing part of it, which is probably anywhere from 5 to 10 hours. Well, I'd say probably 2 to 5 hours per video that he's cut back on, and he does 3 a week. So he's cutting 10 to 20 hours a week out of his schedule just on the editing part. And I think the next step will be the iced coffee hour. Now, I thought it was going to be January, but since he went behind the scenes and has cut the editing, it might be another 6 months that he'll do both shows. But I do believe I still believe the next step will be to cut his FaceTime from the iced coffee hour. Also, Jack has started his own channel. There's only one content, and that was a house tour show, which I watched, and I did subscribe to Jack's channel. And I don't know what the content's going to be, but I do know that he put up one video and he already had, I think it was 14 or 15,000 subscribers, and that's due mainly to the power of Stephan. So everything is progressing pretty much down. I mean, not identical to what I said, but pretty darn close. There's more shows. He's cutting back on time, but he's increasing content. He's going to increase staff. There's another piece of real estate has entered the market. His girlfriend's gone full time, and I believe we will be talking about him spending more time in real estate. In fact, as I record this, I was just watching a show, the Iced Coffee Hour today, where they were talking to a real estate guy, and Graham mentioned that he's looking for a commercial property. Now, whether that means just a flat piece of ground zoned commercial, or he's looking for a commercial investment, I don't know the answer to that. My guess is he's looking for a blank piece of ground or something easily convertible. We'll see, but I still think that Stephan is going to quit the iced coffee hour, or at least cut back drastically in the very near future. I think his dynasty is right on target. I think he's very methodical, and he's going slowly but surely, but he's taking all the right steps. We'll wait and see, because we're probably going to have another update in a few months, my guess is. Well, you guys have a great day, a great week, and happy investing.